Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. This morning we are visiting with Sarah Hatch. She's family coordinator at the Sanders Brown Center on Aging Research Clinic. Sarah, can you tell us more about this research clinic?
Yeah. So Sanders Brown Center on Aging is an amazing place to be. It's really exciting to all the things that we're doing. So we're big, a lot bigger sometimes than people realize. We're made up of multiple labs doing multiple different projects. And then we also have our clinic, which is where I work, where we're doing research studies with individuals. So we're being able to do clinical trials and test some of those new medications that we're hopeful we can see a reduction in the disease or possibly one day eliminate the disease. We're doing observational studies here at the clinic. So people can come in and get tested, both if they're cognitively normal, if they're experiencing some memory issues, or if they've already been diagnosed with the disease. We have different studies where we're looking at different reasons and causes for the disease and just kind of track it over years to kind of see what we can learn about the aging process, about the development of these diseases. One of our goals is as we're learning, we're trying to get that information out, share it with public. We're a resource for families. So even if you have just a general question of kind of what's going on, you can give our center a call and we'll get you an information packet and send it with some of the basics about what the disease is, some behavioral things, how do you handle this when my loved one starts doing something and I don't know how to respond. We can get some of that basic information and send it out, which is huge. A lot of times caregivers get to a point where they just don't know what to do. And so we can't solve all the problems, but we can definitely be a starting point to help point you in the right direction when it comes to the specifics about the disease or questions to even ask your doctor about.
Now, Sarah, you all are located in Lexington, Kentucky. And I know that you shared with me before that you all have started some free memory screenings. What do those look like?
So those are open to anybody who has some questions about their memory. Maybe you're interested in research, you're not really sure. We welcome people to come in, call ahead, get it scheduled because it's not all the time, but we will schedule times for some memory screens, short, quick questionnaire. I'm done with a tester to kind of see, is there something going on that we're curious about or not? It's not a clinical visit. They're not going to give any type of a diagnosis, but what they will say is, we think there is something that may be of a concern that you need to go check with your primary care doctor and find out a little bit more and start investigating, or we're not seeing anything right now. We'll always tell people if you're concerned, check with your doctor. So you would call our main clinic number, which is 859-323-5550.
Do you have any tips for caregivers that may be watching today?
Yes, I mean, as we talked about, caregivers are such an important part, and they take the burden of this disease for sure.
Mm.
So we encourage all caregivers to get as much information about the disease as they can and about caregiving and understanding. And the ways to do that, you can contact us, but there's a lot of resources in the community as well. So two of my go-to contacts I encourage caregivers to reach out to are the Alzheimer's Association. They have a 1-800 number that's 24/7, 365 days of the year. It's 1-800-272-3900. And then the other thing is to check within your area. There'll be an area agency on aging. They're the experts in aging for their certain counties that they're assigned. And so they'll be the go-to about what programs are available, how you get involved in those programs. A lot of times they offer support groups. There's a national family caregiver program that they help and run. And so to find out what your office is for your area, you call 1-877-925-0037. For caregivers, the most important thing is not to try to do this all alone. So to find some help and some support, either it's through programs, through your family, through other organizations that are out there. And finally, one other thing that we do as an organization is we want to get information out to the community and to the state. So we offer what's called a family caregiver workshop. It's both in person here in Lexington, but we also do it via Zoom. It's every other month, and it's information just for family caregivers. We'll talk about communication, we'll talk about behavior, we'll talk about safety. We'll have a neurologist there who can answer some questions. So it's a great program. If you're interested, call our office and we'll make sure you get the next program when it's available and how to register.
Thanks for joining us today on the Farm and Home Show, and we'll see you next time.